Hi everyone, I am Abhinav. I am the Current Affairs faculty over here at Vajiram and Ravi, and I welcome you all to this very special session. So it's almost 1 week since we have got the prelims results, and I know that some of you would be happy with the results and some of you would be disappointed, would be sad. A lot of anxiety and stress would be going on. So for those who have cleared this examination, this particular prelims examination, congratulations to them. You can just skip this video and go and prepare for your mains examination. Today, I want to talk to those students who could not, for whatever reasons, who could not clear this year's prelims examination. I know that the feeling is not easy. It's not easy to go through this particular phase when you do not clear any kind of examination, especially when you do not clear the prelims examination in this UPSC's examination, right? Because now you have to wait for another 1 year just to give the examination. You do not know what exactly went wrong. Maybe some of you would be expecting that you would get very good marks. You might have missed out by maybe 1 or 2 marks. I understand all these things. Over the years, I've seen multiple students going through this particular issue, and I know how it feels, right? So it's not easy, I understand. But then it's already 1 week. We have to accept the results. The feeling would have sunk in as of now, and now it's the time to stand up and take hold of the preparation. If you're preparing for the prelims of 2025, and you should do it. If you probably you would have missed it by just 1 marks, probably you are prepared for the mains examination, right? So you should stand up, you should take hold of your preparation and be bold enough, be courageous enough to begin the preparation again. The doubt that would come to most of the students now is that, should you prepare for the prelims examination now, or should you prepare for the mains examination, which obviously carries huge amount of marks? Yes, that's a genuine doubt. And definitely the answer is that for the next 6 months, you have to work on your mains preparation. Because obviously that is what gives you rank. That is what huge amount of marks lie. But then one reality is that you cannot skip the preparation for the prelims examination now. Since we have not cleared the examination, but for whatever reasons, you have to have one element of prelims examination, prelims preparation in the next 6 months. Prepare for your mains examination in the most rigorous manner, but have an element of prelims preparation also along with the mains preparation. The doubt which would come to your mind is that how to manage both these preparations, how to apply mind in not just in the prelims examinations preparation, but also to prepare for the mains examination. You have to prepare for the essay, ethics, GS papers, your optional papers, answer writing, all those. Mains is definitely very huge. It takes a lot, right? So the strategy would be to make this particular preparation automatic. The prelims preparation has to be automatic, right? So, but the first thing that you have to do before you make this particular preparation automatic is that you need to analyze where exactly you lagged, correct? For those who have given this year's attempt, they should take up the paper, go through each and every question and try to understand what you could have done to ensure that you could have reached the right answer. Were you lacking in some kind of subjects? Make a list of subjects which are weak for you. Make a list of topics in those subjects which are weak for you. You might be lacking in some kind of paper solving techniques or paper solving skills. I know it's difficult that in 2 hours solving 100 questions, your brain may not function properly or function efficiently for the entire 2 hours. That is definitely a skill that you need to develop. Do you have exam temperament, right? Is your time management, are you struggling with your time management? All those things you have to figure out before you start your preparation for the prelims examination. And the question is that how to do it? Who would help you in that kind of a situation? Now, many people would say that for the next 6 months, just forget about the prelims preparation, focus on the mains examination, and we will see the prelims examination when, before the 3 months of the next year's examination. Yes, that is true. Mains is something which you have to focus on, but you need to have an element of prelims preparation. So for that, a test series, joining a good test series definitely helps you a lot, right? Because Now, once you have understood your target right now has to be that once you enter into that 3 months period for the prelims preparation, you should be very clear about your roadmap. You should be very clear ki what are your facts, what are your mistakes, right? What are the areas you are struggling in, what is your plan and what is your schedule, which areas you have to work upon. That is something which should be very clear once you enter into the rigorous prelims preparation next year, probably in the month of February. So for that, you need to have the awareness of your strengths and weakness throughout these 6 months, right? And that is where the importance of a good test series comes in, correct? So what you have to do is that just, solve 2-3 tests every month from now on. Have a schedule, solve 2-3 tests every month and just get the feedback and keep on working on it. You need not prepare, or let's say you need not study also for the prelims subjects or for those tests, because you have anyway studied for those subjects in the prelims examination you have just given. And for those who are giving it for the first time, if you are preparing for the mains examination, then definitely all those subjects are already covered in your mains preparation, isn't it? So by giving the test, you will analyze, you will understand that are you really, do you have this knack of holding on to the facts? Are your factual information clear or not? Small nitty-gritties, are you clear with that or not? So you study, you give your mains test, that is fine, but you give your prelims test to understand whether you are preparing for the prelims or not, right? That is something which you have to understand, and that is where a good test series comes into the picture. Now let's see what are the benefits of a good test series that you will get. For example, the thing that you will struggle if you prepare for your prelims examination, the first thing that you will struggle is what should be the schedule. Correct? You will always have to apply mind ki, should I start with polity first? Should I start with geography first? Should I start with economics first? And all those kind of things. And as I told you, you have to make the prelims preparation automatic, right? It should go on in a flow. It should not take your mental space. It should just be, steps which you have to take. And then at the end of January, you will analyze ki, fine, where have I reached? Now you have a plan ready for the next 3 months. February, March and April, correct? So a test series gives you a very good schedule. It gives you a schedule, it sticks, you have to stick to the schedule and just follow it for the next 6-7 months. So that will reduce the mental space that you will have to invest in designing your schedule, correct? The second thing which a test series does is that, it covers the syllabus. If you give a test series and just 2-3 tests without thinking much about it, just give 2-3 tests every month, at the end of January and, in the month of February, you will not realize, but you would have covered a significant portion of the syllabus. In fact, in the test series, they will cover the most important themes, right? And you will not only cover those themes with the help of the test series, the content also would be there in the test series, but you will also understand, it will be there in your subconscious mind that what are the most important themes of this particular subject. Now the problem is that once you go into the prelims preparation, right, suppose let's say you pick up Lakshmikant, right, you will again have to figure out what is to be read. The time is less. So in that less time, what is to be read is something you will have to figure out. What are the most important themes you will have to figure out, correct? No one can prepare everything. That is where the test series helps. It gives you, it is feeding in you throughout these 6-7 months. This test series is feeding in you what is the most important theme for this particular subject. And once you read that thing from Lakshmikant or from whatever book you are reading, right, you will absorb it better. You will realize, oh, this mistake I did in the test series, this is something which I have to remember. This is the question which I could not solve during solving the test series. This is something which I'll try to remember easily, right? So those things will come when you have a test series and you're simply giving the questions. You're testing yourself before you're actually starting to study. And that is a very good method to understand what are the focus areas. The third thing which a test series gives is that it helps you in preparation of the current affairs. Now, you would be reading newspapers throughout these 6-7 months again, right? Hindu, or maybe you will be looking at the analysis of various important national issues on YouTube, right? Those things you will be doing. But then are you testing yourself? Are you really testing yourself? Is your preparation getting tested? Do you really know that there are certain facts which have to be remembered in this particular news that you got? Maybe you would not have prepared them properly. Through the test series, that will also become automatic, isn't it? When they will ask you a question and you would not know the answer, do not think that, oh, why I do not know it. Think that, fine, with the help of test series, now I got to know it, isn't it? That is the third thing. The fourth thing which a test series does, and that is a very, very important point, it's that it helps you develop those hacks or those tricks which you use to solve the paper. See, knowledge is one thing in the prelims examination, even in the mains examination. But solving a paper, be it prelims examination, be it the mains paper, solving the paper in itself is a skill. In the mains, as you would know that you need to know the answer writing skills. Similarly, in the prelims, you need to know that how do you solve a question? What is the examiner's mindset? Can you understand the intention behind the examiner? Why exactly this examiner has given this particular question, and why exactly they have asked this question in this particular fashion? Now, this is something which comes by regular practice. Yes, people can teach you that, but then your own creativity, your own application of mind will only come with regular practice. And that is what the test series gives. See, the point is that when you keep on giving test multiple times, right, the first thing you will get comfortable is sitting for 2 hours and solving 100 questions. That will become very easy. Because you have given the test for, for every month you're giving two, three tests, and then, that fear, or let's say that stiffness to sit for 2 hours and then give the test will be gone. The fear of getting less marks will be gone. The fear of difficult questions will be gone. And once you overcome these fear, right, that is when your creativity will take over. That is when you'll start understanding that even if I do not have the knowledge, direct knowledge, can I apply my peripheral knowledge? Can I apply some kind of understanding from the previous year's trend to solve this particular question? Let's say it is said that, if the question has extreme words, generally that particular statement is wrong, right? If the statements have a name of organizations, sometimes it goes wrong. So these kind of techniques, these kind of understanding about the paper will develop automatically. You just have to keep on giving the test and just have to keep on analyzing it. Mains preparation is going on smoothly and prelims preparation is automated. You don't have to think about it, right? So that is the fourth thing it gives. It not only helps you in improving the knowledge, it not only helps you in improving the paper solving techniques, it gives you the understanding of the examiner's mindset, right? The fifth thing which the test series helps is in management of the time and the stress management. Definitely, this is one of the issues which students face while they give the prelims examination. They might spend too much time on one particular question. They might take it to the ego, ki, how can I not solve this particular question? I have read this topic. I should know it. I should be able to recall this particular thing. All those things, when when you spend too much time on a particular question, the stress builds up. You lose out on time from the other questions. So this is the technique, or this is the thing which you learn with when you make the mistakes multiple times, this is the thing that you learn. So you learn better time and stress management. And if you're leaving these things for the last 3 months, just imagine the amount of pressure you will have in the last 3 months, 3 months before the prelims examination. If all these things can be automatically solved in these 6 months, why not solve it? Right? Why not do it when it can be automatically solved? Correct? Sitting for 2 hours, getting those hacks, getting confident in current affairs, all those things can be done in these 6 months. Then in those last 3 months, you will have your own creativity. In those last 3 months, you can actually work on your mistakes rather than finding the mistakes. And that is what is to be done. You should be able to find out all your mistakes right now. Before entering into those 3 months of prelims preparation, 4 months of prelims preparation, isn't it? If you're aware of your mistakes, you can work on it. But if you leave these mistakes to be discovered at the end, when will you work on it, right? The last benefit which it gives is the feedback thing. So feedback is considered to be the most important tool to improve anyone's performance. The athletes use it, the cricketers use it. You need to have feedback. No one is perfect. right? Even if you have done the things 1,000 times, you are still not perfect. No one can be, right? So you need constant feedback to ensure that you improve and improve. And if this particular feedback also can be automated with the help of a sideline test series, then why not do it? You will keep on getting the feedback when you join the test series. You will keep on getting a feedback, and once you have this feedback, you will not even realize, but your plan of action will automatically start developing. Okay, fine, time management is an issue, so this is how I will solve the time. Okay, these subjects, these are the subjects where I am weak. Fine, I'll work on these subjects, right? These are the topics where I'm weak. I will work on these topics. So this is the plan. This is the plan you need to have before the starting for the prelims preparation, which you will start probably in the month of January or February next year. So if you're aware of your mistakes, that is the best thing you can do. And that is how you clear the prelims examination. That is how you move ahead of the crowd. Lakhs of people are giving the examination, and that is how you move ahead of the crowd when you're giving the prelims examination. So these are the benefits of having a good test series right now, joining the test series right now. You're doing it not to prove yourself. You're doing it to understand yourself. You're doing it to have a plan before starting the examination. All right. Now, the question which will automatically come to your mind is that how to choose a test series. Now, of course, you can choose any test series in the market. That is up to you. But then, recently India won the World Cup. By having any player in the squad, we could not have won the World Cup. We have to choose the player properly, isn't it? So choosing the right test series is similar to that. You need to ensure that you have the right test series on your plate, right? And you're working, and you're, that test series is a mentor for you, isn't it? That test series gives you feedback, that test series gives you analysis, that test series tests you. It's like a mentor for you, and you have to choose the right mentor, right? So there are certain parameters that you can understand before you choose a test series. So first of all, obviously the first thing is that test series have to be effective. The questions of those test series should reflect in the UPSC's examination. The themes and the dimensions of the questions that they ask in the test series should be very similar to what the UPSC is going to ask. Now, these days you would see that, various institutes are making very difficult test series. They're like, our test series should be the toughest, because they feel like, okay, UPSC is one of the toughest examination, so the test series also has to be the toughest. But that's not true. That's not true. The test series has to be relevant. The question has to be relevant, isn't it? So you have to understand whether the particular the themes or the questions or the dimensions in the questions are getting reflected closely in the actual prelims examination. And mind you, it's very difficult to do that, right? You have to figure out how many tests that particular test series is giving you. So if you're having a test series which is giving you 100 tests, right? Yeah, that is very attractive. Oh, 100 tests I have. But do you really think for the next 6-7 months, can you solve 100 tests? Is it even feasible? Let's leave the question of feasibility. Is it really required? You cannot spend, you cannot give 8-9 tests per month right now. That is to be done when you're actually entering into the prelims preparation, months of February, starting from the months of February. But right now you simply have to give 2-3 tests. That's sufficient, because you simply want to build a momentum. So getting attracted to test series which are like 100 tests, 150 tests, all those things, yeah, it's fine. They are giving you a lot of questions. You won't be able to solve it. Let alone you won't be able to solve it, you won't be able to revise it. And if you're not able to revise the test that you're giving, it's probably of no use. So it's better to have a test and revise it 3 times rather than having so many tests. Now, should not join a test series which gives you a feel-good factor. Oh, the questions are really easy, I'm scoring like 120, 113 each of the tests, and that gives a false opinion, that gives a false hope for you. So you have to choose a test series which is very close to what UPSC does, correct? So that is the third thing that you have to figure out in terms of what exactly, which kind of a test series you need to have. Now, once you have once you have taken the test series, you need to have the feedback. So you need to see what kind of feedback that particular test series is giving you. Are they giving you discussion videos? Because you cannot spend time right now. You cannot spend time in studying those questions which are there in the prelims, right? because you're already preparing for the mains examination. So you can simply switch, watch the video, whichever questions you are not comfortable with, just watch those videos and then, get through your preparation. So that is the most strategic, most smart way of preparing for the prelims right now. Right? So are they giving you discussion videos? Are they, helping you out in terms of feedback and rankings and everything? Right? So those are the parameters which you have to see. Now let's have a look how Vajiram's PowerUp Test Series fits into these parameters, correct? So right now we'll have a look at certain questions which have come in the, which Vajiram has given in their own test series and which have come in the actual UPSC's examination. So we'll see what amount of matching is there, what amount of reflection is there. So let's take the example of the first question which is mentioned over here. And this question is on the thickness of troposphere. Fine. So it says, the statement number 1 says that thickness of troposphere is at the equator is much greater as compared to poles. Now just have a look at the statement number 1 of the test series question. It is exactly same. Thickness of the troposphere is greatest at the equator. So they are comparing the thickness of troposphere at the equator and the poles. Exactly same statement. Look at the second question of the UPSC's examination. At the equator, heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents. So that is the second statement which UPSC has given. Now have a look at the second statement which Vajiram's test series has given. Heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents at the equator. Exactly same question. So can you see how this team, the prelims team which we have over here, is able to figure out the exact theme and the exact dimension which UPSC is going to ask? Not even that. In this question, they could even understand what is the format of the question. UPSC has asked this particular question in an assertion reasoning format, isn't it? Similarly, Vajiram had asked that particular question in the assertion reasoning format. So to this extent, you can predict, if you have a team which can predict the UPSC's question to this extent, not just the theme and the dimensions are matching, but also the format of the question is matching. That is the level of expertise which the team over here is having. That's what we can see over here, right? Let's take few more examples. We'll take few more examples to understand this particular thing, correct? So this is the second question. Over here you can see, just look at the theme, what UPSC has asked. They have asked the question on sustainable aviation fuel, right? That is the question they have asked, the question on sustainable aviation fuel. Now look at the question which Vajiram has asked in their PowerUp Test Series, which is again on sustainable aviation fuel. So the theme is exactly matching. Now let's have a look at the options which are given. So they have given multiple options: agricultural residues, corn grain, wastewater treatment sludge, wood mill waste. Let's have a look at what options Vajiram has given. Wastewater treatment sludge, wood mill waste, yes, and in the explanation of it, corn grain, agricultural residues, all those things. So if you have solved this question before in the test series, and when you sit in the examination and you see the exact question, just try to imagine, just try to see that how much confidence it boosts. It boosts your confidence like anything. It will give you positive vibes. It will make you more empowered, right? You will feel more relaxed that, oh yes, I have solved this question beforehand. And mind you, addressing, getting to this particular theme is not easy. There are 100 questions in UPSC's prelims examination, right? There are so many current affairs and so many static questions which can be asked from so many subjects. But then figuring out what exactly UPSC is going to ask in this particular year requires real effort. Definitely it requires real effort. And not just that they have, caught the theme, they have also caught the dimensions. They have also caught the statements as well. So if you have solved this particular question, you could have exactly solved the UPSC's question. And that would give a great boost during the examination, no doubt about it, right? Let's have a look at another question. So this particular question is on the largest cocoa producers. That is what the UPSC has asked. See the question which Vajiram's PowerUp Test Series has asked. Major cocoa producing countries. Same question at all. And then they have given these two options as well, Ivory Coast and Ghana, and you have the same options over here. So if you have solved this question, then immediately you can mark this particular question and you can move on. So it improves the speed. It improves the speed with which you are solving. It definitely takes you ahead of the other candidates. It takes you ahead of the competition, isn't it? And again, coming to these themes, figuring out what themes would be asked in the examination, it's not that easy, right? Let's have a look at another question. So this question, UPSC asked on the ethics committee in the Lok Sabha, right? Look at the theme of the question which Vajiram has asked, ethics committee in parliament, right? So same theme, exactly same theme. They have caught the theme, they have got hold of the theme. Let's have a look at a few of the statements. So it's an ad hoc committee. That's one of the statements which is given. Second statement is that only a member of Lok Sabha can make a complaint against a member of Lok Sabha. Then what is the third statement? That cannot take up any other matter which is sub judice. So basically it is asking you whether matters which are sub judice can be taken up in the ethics committee or not. Have a look at what Vajiram has done. The first statement is that any person can complain against. So basically they are helping you understand who can complain and who cannot complain. That is what UPSC has also asked, right? That is the first statement. So on the complaint thing. Then the second statement is about can you entertain complaints based only on media reports and matters which are sub judice. That is what even the UPSC has asked, correct? So that is so if you have solved this particular question, there is no doubt that you can solve this particular question in the examination. And even the first statement is covered in the explanation that they have given. That is the benefit of handling the test series. That is the benefit of going through the test series. It's very difficult for a student to, understand what all themes are important, and under those themes, under those topics, what exactly has to be read. So let's give this job to the experts. Why are we going to put in the effort, right? The effort which is required from our side is hard work, is smart work, is, diligent study. Let them tell you what exactly is to be studied because they are doing a lot of research, isn't it? So that is where the test series helps. Let's take a few more examples. It will make it even more clearer. Now, this particular theme, pumped storage hydropower, definitely not a very easy theme to pick up, right? Because there are so many other themes, and then giving this particular theme in the test series is certainly requires a lot of understanding about the UPSC's pattern, how they are approaching, what kind of questions are coming in the prelims examination. Only the person who understands it properly can really understand, okay, this year probably this kind of question will become important. And that is what exactly Vajiram's test series has done. So in the second statement, you can see that pumped storage hydropower, the question on pumped storage hydropower, statement on pumped storage hydropower has been asked. Now in the explanation, you would definitely have the understanding about this particular thing, and you can directly solve this particular question in the examination. That boosts. So see, each and every question matters. It's a battle of 0.33 marks, right? And in that battle, if you have so many questions which are matching from the test series which you have already given, that really is helpful, really takes you ahead of the competition. And it's not just these 4 or 5 questions which have actually matched. In the description box, you can see there's a link which will give you all the examples, all the questions which have directly come from the Vajiram's test series. More than 50-60 questions are there, right? So how much questions do you need really to crack this prelims examination? If you make 60 questions correct, you're almost there. You are definitely going to clear the cutoff, isn't it? Given the cutoff which is going on these days, isn't it? So, and if you're getting 60 questions, 50 questions from a test series, it definitely makes the life easier during those 2 hours of the prelims examination. Let's have a look at this particular question. So Vajiram asked a question on delimitation of constituencies, right? Even UPSC asked a question on delimitation commission. If you have solved this particular question, then definitely you could have solved this particular question in the examination. That is now you have to understand what makes, how is it possible that you are able to figure out exactly what kind of questions will be asked? Because the team over here is, there's a proper team which functions only for the prelims examination. right? There's a huge team in Vajiram which works only for the prelims examination, right? There are subject matter experts which go through each and every sources, the Hindu, Indian Express, all the magazines, all the different newspapers, to find out the most important questions for this particular year, right? Then we have the expert panel of content creators which are trained to create questions which are at the level of UPSC, right? So they have figured out what exactly is the changes in the language of the questions in UPSC, how exactly UPSC is framing the questions, what kind of topics, what kind of themes are framed in what kind of manner. All those research is going on, correct? And then that is how they come up with questions in which not only the theme matches, not only the dimension matches, but also the kind of question also matches, the format of the question also matches. So there are multiple formats which are there in this prelims examination, right? It could be a match the following question, it could be a assertion reasoning question, it could be a one word kind of a question, it could be a statement based question. So it requires efforts in understanding this particular theme, this particular question can be asked in which particular format. So that all requires a lot of effort, isn't it? And that is where you have to trust a team which completely functions for it. Now, once you have these content creators who have, created the questions, then you have a hierarchy of reviewers. 3 stages of review is being done to ensure that the quality of question is correct, to ensure that there are no mistakes in the question, not in the statement, not in the explanation, right? And therefore, it goes through multiple levels of reviews to maintain the quality of the question. And that is the result. The hard work is shown in this particular reflection, which is also there in the description box. You can have a look at the link. So see, when you are preparing for such a important examination, you cannot take chances, and you should not take it. It's a matter of 1 year. You should just get the best, clear this examination, and move on with your journey. Go and serve the country, right? So it's always better to choose the best. Definitely you can go for any kind of test series, but then the parameters, as I told you, and the kind of reflections we are seeing, you should always choose the best. It's a matter of 1 year, right? So that is how this particular test series would help you. Now let's have a look at some of the features of this particular PowerUp test series that we have over here. So the first is that they are going for the analysis of trends for the last 15 years. It's not 2 years, it's not 3 years, 5 years. They're analyzing it for the last 15, 20 years. What is the importance of this? Now, you have to understand that there is a flow, there is a momentum with UPSC as well. The thought process changes, and if you can find that particular change in the thought process, if you can grab on to the breadth and the nerve of UPSC, then only you can create questions, then only you can understand what kind of themes will be asked in this year's examination. So analyzing the examination for the past 15-20 years is something which has to be done to exactly pick up the breadth of UPSC. And obviously, it is not easy. Now let's say if you ask a particular student, an individual student, to analyze the last 20 years of paper, find out what exactly is going to come, you will simply become a researcher over there, right? Definitely, you have to solve the previous year question papers, no doubt on that. You have to solve it. But then you cannot just build a research over that, isn't it? That's not what you're expected to do. So give that particular thing to the institutes, correct? They are doing it for you. Take their help. No one of us is perfect. No one of us is complete. We have to at times depend on someone or the other for our progress. Everyone needs a mentor, right? The second thing is that they're going to cover the entire syllabus, and that is the most important thing. You have to check whether the test series you are joining, are they covering the entire syllabus, or are they just touching on some of the subjects or some of the topics in the syllabus? What kind of topics are they choosing? To make the test series tough, sometimes the test series would, choose obscure topics, which might not be relevant from the UPSC's examination. Yes, UPSC's examination, the prelims paper is tougher every year. But it's not tough because they're asking irrelevant questions, right? So you have to understand that the question has to be relevant and at the level of UPSC at the same time. So once this particular feature that they will cover the entire static syllabus is most important, because when you enter the months of January and February, you would not have realized that you have revised the most important themes from across the subject. And that is what will boost your confidence when you enter into the rigorous prelims preparation in the month of February or January. That will give you the confidence, that will give you the plan as to where you have to work, right? The third feature is that relevance-based question. That is what we were talking about. So you don't have to solve irrelevant questions. You have to understand that there are themes which are important in UPSC. Either in the mains examination or in the prelims examination, the themes are important, correct? You have to have information, knowledge about certain most important themes in each and every subject, isn't it? And that is where a test series comes into picture. They will multiple times you will be solving the questions on those most important themes, and you will develop this understanding, subconscious level of understanding while solving those questions. And that is the importance of it. Let's have a look at the next one. Knowledge box, very important. See, the UPSC has this habit. Let's say one particular theme or one particular topic is in news. UPSC could have easily asked question on that particular topic and the students would have solved it. What UPSC does is that they sometimes would ask question on the peripheral topic, a topic which is related to that particular topic which was in news, and that is where this particular knowledge box will come into picture. In each and every question, you would get some extra information. So this knowledge box is all about giving you slightly extra information that you have to remember, right? So it not only gives you an extra information, it gives you a format in which you can revise the test series. So when you are revising the test series, right, you can simply go to the knowledge box. You may not read the questions, so you have to revise the test series, right? You have to revise the test. Now when you are revising it, you cannot again revise all the questions, all the statements and everything. You can simply go to the knowledge box, revise the facts over there and move on. So you know, in this page, I have to focus over here. Knowledge box, knowledge box, knowledge box. All that kind of revision. That will really make the revision super fast. And that is what is required. If you have to revise your syllabus 5-6 times before giving the examination, then this is something which will help you. Okay. Then you have this particular feedback which is AI supported, and you get a all India rank as well. What is the importance of this? Now see, you cannot take away the importance of analyzing the test on your own. You have to analyze the test on your own. But then if you're getting some feedback from by using a software, why not use it? It will give you the exact, let's say, objective analysis of what exactly you are lacking in. Geography you are lacking in, polity you are lacking in, or economics is something which you are lacking in. So it will give you that. And then you put in your own analysis and you come up with a plan, right? That is where it helps you, correct? And giving you an all India rank, that, see, obviously you don't have to compare yourself with anyone. The final D-Day would be very different for everyone probably. But then getting a all India rank, maybe getting a good rank, maybe getting a bad rank will act as a motivation. If you're getting a bad rank, you understand that yes, I have to put in a lot of efforts. That feedback will go to your mind and you need it. If you're sitting alone in your room, getting a test series from the market and then solving it, right? So you would definitely not understand, or you will not feel the competition. You have to feel the competition. When you come to this center, when you come to the offline center, or let's say when you're giving even in the online mode and you're seeing the ranks of multiple students and you're seeing your rank at some of the numbers, your name at some number, you will understand that what exactly you're missing or what is that you're doing good. In this examination, even motivation is really important. If you're getting a rank, let's say 50 rank, top 10 rank, you would feel motivated, isn't it? That yes, I am on the right path. That is also you need it. So, and that is only possible when you join a test series and you get all these ranks and everything. It gives you this competitive feeling, right? So that is there. That is the those are the features of this particular thing, particular test series. Let's have a look at the breakup of the questions. Now, first thing that we see over here is that there are two test series in the PowerUp. One is the test series which is PowerUp Prelims Test Series, and the other one is the PowerUp Current Affairs Test Series. Okay, we'll discuss about the breakup of both these test series. So the first one we have like 30 tests. As I told you, it's not 100 tests and it's not 10 tests. It's 30, a good number that you need to solve before entering into the prelims examination, right? So if you overburden yourself with 100, 200 tests, you won't be able to revise it. And if you just give 10 tests, you will not have that practice, isn't it? So in this, we have 30 tests in which 15 would be sectional. The sectional test would help you read and prepare small segments in the subject, and then when you're giving the full length test, and everything will be tested. So 15 sectional test, 5 comprehensive test, and 10 full length test. And this is how it is divided, right? We have a NCERT test as well, which is very important sometimes, and usually UPSC has some or the other questions which is coming directly from the NCERT. Now, you cannot go back and read all the NCERTs, polity NCERT, geography NCERT, economics NCERT. Yes, you have to read them. But since you have already read in your previous preparation for the previous prelims examination, you cannot just go back and keep on reading them. Right? It's always good to give a test and get the confidence that yes, whatever is there in the NCERT and the most important things, because in this particular test, they will only ask the most important ones. They will only give you the things which are most relevant. Just get the confidence that fine, I'm done, I know the NCERT, I have conceptual understanding, I can move ahead with the further preparation. Right? Then for each and every subject, you can see that there are almost like 2 sectional tests and 1 comprehensive test. So in the polity, if you have 2 sectional tests, maybe the polity syllabus would be divided into 2, right? You will prepare 1 syllabus, you will give the test, you will go to the next one, prepare, give the test, and 1 comprehensive where the entire polity test would be, entire polity as a subject would be tested. Okay, similarly, we have tests for the economics, geography, history, environment, science and tech, and then we have the 10 full length test in which you will have all the subjects covered. Right, so that is how these 30 tests are scheduled. Correct. So what it gives you? It gives you multiple revisions, isn't it? So when you are solving sectional test and when you are coming back to the comprehensive test, revision is happening of the polity test. When you're giving again the full length test, again you are revising polity. So multiple revision. This is how this test series is designed, that you can revise it multiple times. And then you will have the discussion videos with the help of which you can understand where you are lacking, what is your fault, what is something where you have to work upon. You can keep that particular thing, work on your mains right now, keep that particular thing where you have to work, and once you're there in January and February, you will have a clear-cut understanding, clear-cut plan as to what is to be done, right? So your plan is getting built slide by slide, isn't it? And that is what is required to clear the examination so that you don't waste that time, right? Let's have a look at the current affairs test series that we have. So over here, the 12 months of current affairs would be covered with the help of 1 test every month, right? So there will be 12 tests. In the schedule, you will find out which particular test is covering which particular month. So we are covering the current affairs from the May 2024, which is already gone, and we will cover the current affairs till the next year of April 2025. Okay, so these 12 months, the current affairs will be covered, and this is very important. These are like 100 question test, and this is very important. You're anyways reading the current affairs, right? You're reading the newspapers, you're reading the magazines and everything. And then if you have a test of that particular month, it really completes the entire cycle. Reading, understanding, making notes out of it, giving the test, getting the feedback, again doing the same thing. That is the cycle. And this cycle gets completed by joining this particular test series. Just reading the test series, just reading the current affairs every month and not, checking whether you are really understanding, whether you are able to solve the questions in the examination is the mistake that many people do. You should not do it, right? Then you have 2 revision tests. So every 6 months chunk when it is over, then you have a revision test. Again, very important. So let's say you have read something in the month of, let's say July, right? Or August. And then when you are there in the month of January, you would not remember, right? You probably might not remember, but then the revision test will help you recall things, right? So the entire 6 months will be asked in 1 test. So this is such a beautiful arrangement of tests which is happening. Every month a test, after 6 months a revision test, then again 6 months of monthly test, again a revision test, and then you have a separate test on IR and mapping. So obviously the mapping questions and the IR questions will be there in the monthly test as well, which is relevant for that particular month. But then since these two sections, the IR and the mapping sections, are really crucial in the prelims examination, which is happening for the past multiple years, that is why a separate test is existing. Once you have solved this particular 100 questions, I do not think that UPSC can ask beyond this. Because anyways, UPSC also has to ask relevant questions, right? They also have to ask questions which are there in current affairs. They also have to ask questions which are important. And if you're covering, and then in the examination, they're going to ask just 2-3 questions, 5 questions from this particular topic, right? So if you're solving 100 questions, definitely somewhere or the other, you would have read about those 5 questions and it's sorted, right? So that is how it helps you in the preparation. So in the current affairs, look at this: the Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Down to Earth, the Times of India, all the major newspapers and magazines would be covered. Do you really think that for a human, for a normal student, for an individual, is it possible to go through each and every website and newspaper and find out the most important theme and then read those themes in a comprehensive manner so that you are able to solve questions? It's not possible, right? So we can focus on 1 or 2 current affairs based sources, and rest, let's give it to the team. They will find out the most important themes from the current affairs, from these magazines, from these sources, and they will give you the question. From those questions, you develop your content, isn't it? Because right now in this phase, in the phase of 6-7 months, right, you don't have time to prepare for the prelims examination, because you are anyways preparing for the mains examination, answer writing, value addition, all those kind of things you are doing. So for prelims, you can trust, you can rely on the test series. You will get the content from there, you will get the value addition from there, you will get important current affairs from all the various magazines and the newspapers, right? So just whatever we can't do it, let's give it to the theme, let's give it to the team, right? That is how you delegate. Even when you will become a civil servant, you will have to understand and you will have to develop this skill of delegation. You cannot do everything on your own. You have to delegate, right? And that is what you have to understand, that some things you have to delegate to the team which is working really hard to ensure that you are at ease when you are giving your prelims examination, right? So that is the benefit of joining a test series right now. You cannot leave. See, when these things can be done, can be done in these 6-7 months, why to leave it for the last 3 months? Do not build pressure in the last 3 months. Lot of things will come. You have to, the best preparation is done when your mind is calm, when your mind is confident. And the confidence will come when you have solved this particular test series, at least for the next 6-7 months. And then of course, when you're entering into the prelims phase, then definitely test series helps, right? So that is the importance of joining the test series right now. Just join it, leave it on the side, go and give it on the schedule, right? And just come back, get the feedback, prepare for the mains examination. So that is how you automate things, isn't it? So that's the benefit of it. Now, this is the benefit, gist of the benefits that you're going to get in this particular test series. The first thing is the revision thing, of course, because as we saw the number of test series, there are revision tests as well, right? And then there are multiple tests, there are comprehensive tests, there are sectional tests, there are full length tests. So you revise multiple times, you practice multiple tests, and you get the feedback based on the results, which will improve, which will complete the loop that you want for performance. Right. Second is the SWOT analysis. Definitely, when you're getting the feedback, you are able to understand your strengths, you're able to understand your weaknesses, you're able to understand, okay, these questions, these type of questions I'm able to solve better. So here is the opportunity for me. And you will be able to understand, fine, this is the subject, or let's say this is a topic which I'm not very comfortable. Probably I'll solve the questions with more caution, or maybe I'll just skip it. Why to waste time? You don't have to solve 100 questions in the prelims examination to clear the cutoff, right? So you can just give away those 5-6 questions, 10 questions in the examination. And that is what you will understand when you solve the test, correct? So all these discoveries about your strength subjects, your weak subjects, your skills, let it happen gradually, right, in these 6-7 months. And once you're there in the month of February, you will have a clear-cut plan on which you can work, rather than thinking and depleting your mental energy on preparing a plan, isn't it? So that is what it does. It gives you the SWOT analysis. You will have the access to the student portal. Daily snippets will be there. You will get daily updates on the current affairs, and lot of things, lot of information would be there on the student portal, and you will have direct access to it, right, to the material, to the amount of information which is going to be there. Then of course the test series is going to cover the entire syllabus. That is something you can trust, that is something you can rely on the test series, right, because we have seen the kind of reflections they have in the UPSC examination. So the team is not leaving any stone unturned to ensure that the most important theme of all the subjects and current affairs is covered in the test series, right? So that is where you can trust the particular process, trust the team over here, correct? Then you have flexibility in the attempting the test. We understand that you have to prepare for the mains right now. Probably on one particular day you have a mains test, and on that day only the prelims test is scheduled, right? So obviously you have the flexibility. You can give the test after a few days, right? Because you might not be able to manage both the tests together. You have your optional test, you have your GS test, all those tests are going on, right? But if you would not have joined the test, if you would have simply taken the test from market, right, and then you will be like, fine, I'll just solve it on my own. The problem is that you are only accountable to yourself. The problem is that you will not feel missing out on something, right? And if you join the test, even if you leave that particular test, even if you do not give the test on that particular schedule, you will at least have something in your mind hanging, ki, oh, I have one test which is pending. That will be a constant reminder to go and give the test. But if you do it on your own, not everyone is able to, have that strict discipline and accountability, right? So that is where the test series helps. It will keep on reminding you, fine, one test is left, you have paid the money, just go and give the test at least. And this process of going and giving the test in itself will improve you. That is the benefit. That is the benefit, right? So this is why we have brought in flexibility in the test series. You can give it in the online and the offline mode, and also on the different dates as well, right? So now that is what I had to discuss in this particular session that we have. The gist of the session, the summary of the session is that I understand that the feeling is not good. You might not have cleared the prelims examination, but trust me, there are so many toppers who could not clear the prelims examination in the initial 1 or 2 or 3 attempts or 4 attempts, but when they cleared the examination of prelims, they directly got a rank. That is the amount of preparation you have to do. So you do not have to get disheartened. It's a very unpredictable examination, especially prelims. It's very unpredictable, the kind of questions they are asking, and that is why you have to rely on a test series which boasts of that you will get certain questions in the examination, right? So do not get disheartened. Pick up your pen, pick up your schedule, sit, make a plan, join a test series, go and give the test, forget about it, prepare for your mains examination, right? That is what you have to do. That is what is there. And I leave you with this particular quote which gives you the relevance of persistence. What are you doing in these 6-7 months? You need to have goals. If you do not have goals, it's very difficult for a human being to be motivated for a long time, right? So you need to have small goals to fill up the next 2 years that you have. And these test series will help you in setting those goals, which will help you in moving in a better and smooth and faster manner. So persistence is the key. Something changes. See, talent is there, genius is there, education is there, but we see everyone fails, right? But then persistence is something which is considered one of the highest values, is considered one of the highest or best tool to ensure that you become successful. Something in your mind changes. If you keep doing the same thing again and again, you will at least become comfortable with it. You will lose the fear of, giving test. That is one of the biggest fear, how to sit for those 2 hours, right? Neuroplasticity is the thing. When you do the same thing again and again, your brain becomes used to of it, right? And when you set goals and you achieve it, it gives you that achievement motivation. So it's always better to prepare for the battle in the most efficient manner. It's always better to trust the most efficient and the institute which is basically trying their level best to ensure you get the questions, right? So It's time to prepare well. It's time to stand up, take hold of your preparation and give your best for the next attempt, right? So all the best to all the students. You will definitely clear it next year. Have a plan, focus on it, have faith on yourself and take help from the best. See you.